Early on a winter's morning, as the sun begins to shine, Glass Street is already bustling. Song Shi comes to this street every day. He doesn't come to buy antiques or paintings. He is looking for stones. Song Shi has 50 years of experience in jade sculpture. Although he has been working with jade for almost his entire life, he can't completely guarantee that every piece of jade he chooses will be of high quality and value.
这是从表皮外观去判断它的质地和颜色，就像赌博一样。
In the jade industry, there's a well-known saying about this form of gambling. One piece of jade can make you rich, while another can make you poor. There are many stories of people becoming rich overnight through jade gambling, but jade gambling can also leave people homeless and penniless. He has been to this jade market several times, but couldn't find any jade that satisfied him. Song Shi often says there are two things that he values in life. One is jade sculpture, the other is Peking opera.
京剧大师梅兰芳先生是我一生最敬仰、最崇拜的人物。
This year marks the 120th birthday of Mei Lanfang. Therefore, Song Shi wants to make a jade sculpture in memory of his idol.
要找到一块适合这种题材的料呢，是可遇不可求。
When the covering of the raw material is removed, it is easier to judge the quality and volume of jade. But this also means the jade will become more expensive. Given a choice between pure jade and clear jade, Song Shi prefers to choose clear jade. Finding a suitable piece of jade sometimes takes a lot of luck. It takes billions of years for jade to form. Every piece of jade is unique. When Song Shi selects a piece of jade, it is a match made in heaven. According to the shape and texture of different pieces of jade, specific designs are repeatedly considered when making the jade into an exquisite work of art. Song Shi has been preparing for dozens of years to make this jade sculpture. Mei Lanfang was a world-famous master of Peking opera. He performed in hundreds of Peking opera productions during his life. Although Song Shi has selected the jade he will use, he is still thinking about how to design the shape to fully do justice to the theme of Mei Lanfang. The craftsmanship involved in jade sculpture mainly includes understanding the work, painting, carving, and polishing. Among them, understanding means to fully understand the characteristics of the jade raw material. Jade varies by category, texture, and color. The jade raw material that Song Shi has selected was mined in Hetian, Xinjiang. Hetian jade is one of the best types of jade in China. It is honored as China's national jade.
梅派艺术和和田白玉，它有一个内在的联系。和田玉呢，它是温润、浑厚、内敛；这个梅派艺术呢，朴实敦厚。它的表演艺术不过不及，中正平和。
In Song Shi's opinion, a conscious and aesthetic relationship has been formed between jade and Peking opera. He is never too hasty when starting work. The form and design of this precious piece of jade need to be given careful consideration. It usually takes him months of thinking before he receives inspiration. Song Shiyi has immersed himself in Mei Lanfeng's opera for 2 months, while figuring out how to carve the jade based on inspiration from the opera, and to fully illustrate the theme of Mei Lanfeng. Mei Lanfeng starred in many classic operas. All are considered works of genius, and with lasting charm. While watching The Drunken Concubine, Song Shiyi thinks the graceful jade and Yang Yuhuan's beauty and elegance can bring out the best in each other.
这块料的特色就是表层正面有一层这个撒金皮，做那个梅兰芳的鬼水酒非常合适，能够体现这个梅派艺术的这个雍容华贵。这个正好这个上面这块呢做一个凤冠，这个中间有一个白的部分，正好是这脸部，下边呢做一个扇子，扇子底下有一个用那白的做手。
The painting process requires drawing a sketch on paper and jade after the concept of the sculpture has been finalized. The volume and texture of the jade will be taken into consideration when planning the general layout.
绘玉的笔法就是采用中国传统的白描工笔绘画，应该是细致入微，丝丝入扣。实际上，玉雕就是一幅立体的工笔画。
The representation of people's expression and manner is the highest state of jade painting. It requires not only skillful techniques, but also the persistent pursuit of art. When he was young, Song Shiyi wanted to become a painter. Following this dream, he applied for admission to an industrial arts school, which he thought was a painting school.
实际上，工艺美术就是实用美术。
Without solid painting skills, it would be almost impossible for craftsmen like Shiyi to make their mark in the jade sculpture industry. From a naive beginner to a master of jade sculpture, a period of more than 50 years has passed. Song Shiyi has mastered all the jade sculpture techniques. The jade that he is going to carve contains all his love for Mei Lanfeng. Carving is the most important process in jade sculpture. The first step is to polish the covering on the jade raw material and sketch the outline. Jade is a very expensive material, so he must keep the best part of it. He must keep it in the most perfect form.
玉石原料的它天然美要强调。
Modern tools are now used in jade sculpture. Many electric tools are used. Weights of different sizes and shapes will be used to sketch the general outline. The smallest weight has a diameter of just 0.8 of a millimeter. Although electric tools can save a lot of time, if anything goes wrong, the consequences can be irreversible. Although it is called jade sculpture, it is not just carving and hammering. All the tools touch the jade softly, removing only tiny pieces.
玉雕这个雕字不准确，它不是雕出来的，因为玉非常硬，它是琢和磨出来的。一件事情我们好好琢磨琢磨，这就是从玉这儿来的。
As an old Chinese saying goes, jade is only good when carved, referring to the process of turning raw jade material into exquisite works of art. The hardness of this jade material is about 6.5 degrees on the Mohs scale. In contrast, the hardness of ordinary steel is only 5 to 6 degrees. If metal is used to cut jade, it won't make an impression on the material. The weights used in modern tools are made of diamond powder, with a hardness of 10 degrees on the Mohs scale. With high-frequency rotation, the weights can be used to carve the jade. China has a long history of making jadeware. Without any electric tools, how did people cut jade in the past, and how did they carve it into exquisite jadeware? In the Jade Exhibition Hall of the National Palace Museum, there is a picture of the jade carving process created in the Qing dynasty. In ancient times, before making jadeware, the first step was to grind jade sand. Jade sand was collected from river sand through smashing, filtering, and selecting. Jade sands included quartz sand and emery. When the jade sands were ready, two jade makers would work together using steel wire like a saw to cut the raw jade material. Then they placed the jade sand and water into a teapot and dropped the watery mixture on the steel wire to make it sharper. Through this process, the jade could be cut. In order to improve the techniques of making jadeware, the ancient Chinese invented the water board. A worker stood on the board to rotate the wooden axis. Sharp metal would be used together with jade sand to form a shape, then hollow out and carve figures from the jade. Over thousands of years, countless items of jadeware have been made in China. Among them are many treasures, which were made using complex techniques. Every elegant and beautiful item of jadeware is a symbol of the ancient Chinese people's wisdom and painstaking efforts.
磨玉呢，不仅需要体力、精力，还要需要耐力，这个韧性。
The jade carving techniques used by the ancient Chinese were the most difficult of all the ancient handicrafts. Along with the development of modern machinery, pure manual techniques have become lost techniques, which cannot be recovered. After 2 weeks, the overall layout of Song Shiyi's jade project takes shape. Along with it comes a question. There are some impurities in the jade.
这个玉雕在制作过程当中肯定要发生变化，实际上这制作过程也是设计的延续。
The defects in the jade can include dirt, tufts, and cracks. When defects can't be avoided, smart designs are used to solve the problem.
做这个公扇的时候，这公扇上很多脏的颜色，把那脏的颜色慢慢的磨掉，把里面本来的好看的颜色露出来。
It is difficult to find perfect jade raw material. However, skillful jade sculptors can often turn bad into good. In order to obtain pure jade, southern jade sculpture techniques can waste a lot of the jade material. However, the most unique feature of northern jade sculpture is to work according to the jade's characteristics and the use of different colors. Song She Yi is one of the top masters of northern jade sculpture. There was a crack in the jade used for Song She Yi's water Guan Yin. It affected the overall beauty of the work, so he made the dirty color into leaves and the crack into a scroll.
现有一件合成白玉籽料的观音童子，它左半边有一块白浆石，这浆石上部分有一个小的黄皮，正好这个按常规要把这白浆石要去掉，我没有去，把这变成俏色，做一个白鹦鹉，有一个小黄嘴。
Song She Yi likes studying various jade materials. Different textures, colors, and even defects could become the perfect materials for his next creation. That is all part of his enjoyment of the craft.
玉石原料的客观条件和你作者的主观因素碰撞，找到一个平衡点，这就是我们玉雕的创。
Before Meilan Feng's work.
就从灯泡就摔下来了，据说是脑溢血，去世了。
Although Song She Yi has more than 50 years of experience in critical and subtle processes, he still doesn't take any of the procedures for granted, because every small polish could influence the overall shape. In the last step of a jade sculpture, there is no chance for any modifications. Each moment can decide the result of the work. The chaplet is the most difficult part of the sculpture, since it is covered with pearls and jade ornaments, and all the pearls must be vivid. As he makes it, Song She Yi holds his breath frequently, because any mistake could ruin the whole piece. It took him 3 months to sketch the general outline of Yang Yu Huan in Mei Lan Feng's opera. Polishing is a very important aspect of jade sculpture. After polishing, all
就是有些小的地方一定要保住，不要给光模糊了。第二就是要保活，不要给碰坏，要使这活完完整整的完成。
To this end, all the polishing processes will be done manually. A fine strip of sandpaper will be used to polish the outline of the sculpture hundreds of thousands of times. This reveals the smooth texture of the jadeware. Now, on the pure white part of the jade, the facial expression of the drunken concubine is vividly depicted. The folding fan, pearls and jade ornaments, and cloud satisfy the aesthetics of traditional Chinese culture. The beauty of jade and the charm of Peking opera contrast finely with each other.
京剧是国之粹，玉雕呢是实之粹。我对于梅派艺术的崇拜和热爱，不亚于我对玉雕艺术的崇拜和热爱。
Song Shi has dressed up for the celebration of Mei Lan Feng's 120th birthday. He will meet Mei Lan Feng's son, Mei Baoju. Today, his dream will be fulfilled. He will present the drunken concubine to Mei Lan Feng's son as a gift.
年了，没事，正好这个双甲之约，想送给你，对，这是我的画稿，
哎，真漂亮。
亲赠梅葆玖先生惠存。
我这些东西我就好好的留起来以后，都放在这个纪念馆，
好
存起来。
还有我07年我就梅先生几段唱腔，我随便录的，您随便听，我这是业余爱好。
这边我也送您一个。
好的好的。对，是吧？
对
啊。您多保重身体。
As an ancient Eastern art, jade sculpture is the solid foundation of Chinese civilization. Exquisite jadeware vividly demonstrates China's glorious history and the wisdom and skill of jade sculptors. In traditional Chinese culture, jade stands for goodwill and noble qualities. This philosophy will continue to exert a positive influence on Chinese people in the future.